My man, you made it. You blowing up all over the news. Are you alone?
I just want the money.
You got the chip? All right, start her up, Bug. Why don't you go to the bathroom, wash up, we gonna be with you in a minute.
What?
Oh, come on, man. Your neck, it's a mess.
While hotel security has yet to comment, we do know the suspect seems to have fled the scene.
Initiating combat mode.
Go!
Destination confirmed.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about! Alright, in and out, bitches! We're rich! Oh, we are going to the major leagues, Jackie! Jack? Oh, shit!
No. Okay, get to a clinic, now.
Mr. Wells' condition is critical.
Go!
Immediate medical
It's gonna
help
be okay,
is required.
just hold on,
Hey, just think about all the good shit we're gonna have, huh? I'm sorry. Take the fucking chip, Dex.
Every corporal cop in this city's gonna be blasting down these doors after what you and your psycho friend did. We didn't need all this cocksucking attention, damn it.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
I doubt you could even imagine it. That which commanded the stars, giving life its fullest brilliance. The Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring. Shattered by someone or something. Don't tell me you don't see it. Look up at the sky. It burns.
never meet your heroes? Well, I did. And it was awesome! The Avengers were everything I imagined.
Hello, San Francisco!
Thor, Tony, check it out. At once.
Try to keep up. This just got a whole lot more interesting.
Let's make this quick. Secure the bridge. Those weapons can't get into the city.
You set him up. Foul, knock him down.
Thor, what's your status?
There are humans trapped, and lots of small, angry men with guns.
Was that a joke? Did Thor make a joke? Cap, they got pulsar tanks.
Tony, Thor, the cables! Cap, what's going on over there?
Start to Chimera, what's your status?
We should head back.
No, stay on task. There are still civilians on this bridge.
Reactor.
Damn it, they played us.
Some say they were set up. Others call them murderers.
Do the Avengers pose a danger to society? That was the question, Bruce. That was the question.
Well, we all lost something that day. But that's not how this story ends.
I have no eyes, and if I did, I wouldn't peel them.
Severe. Heightened security measures are in effect throughout London city limits.
Bloody drones are everywhere, kicking our fucking teeth in lately.
Then I recommend you recruit someone who can deal with drones.
Brilliant, never would have thought of that.
You're clear. Sod off.
All right, easy. I'm complying.
Impressive skill set.
Sure, but we need a drone expert, Raj, not a shit kicker. File that one away for later.
Are you concerned about the increased Albion presence in London?
It's a total disgrace. Mercenaries patrolling the street.
Get the fuck over here.
Me? I ain't done nothing.
Come on, you shifty prick. Hurry up.
Well now.
Jimmy Shaw. No formal engineering training, but he has several mischief charges for hijacking Albion drones.
Hold still. Fuck you, man. You got no right.
Fucking hell. We find our drone expert and he's about to get himself nicked.
I'm dead set. Get out of here.
Riot drone! Stop! Keep your hands visible.
Best not to escalate if you don't... Oh, just ignore me.
Prepare to be detained.
Not today.
Halt. Prepare to be detained.
Auto-drive now disabled.
Several chase drones are converging on your position.
No shit. What were you planning to tell me about the bloody checkpoint?
Oh, there's a checkpoint.
Nice! Nice!
We're not trying to make a really topical political statement or anything, but there is some underpinnings to, you know, how corporations treat people and things like that.
It actually, this game also has a very rich heritage in terms of development, and there is some similarities I would see when you're talking about humor with a dark side to Fallout.
Yeah.
If somebody is a fan of Fallout, what would you tell them about this game?
Well, me and Tim were two of the original creators of Fallout, so it has a lot of that DNA in it. You know, when we started Fallout, it was us and a couple of other people, and we were basically weirdly given, you know, a bag of money, I always say, but a very small bag of money. Go make your game and don't bother anybody. And you very rarely get that choice. And Fallout was what came out of that. And this was kind of a similar situation. Obsidian approached, Tim was already working there, I was working at Blizzard. Obsidian talked to us about doing this game. And once again, it was like, you know, we want you guys to make another one of your games. So when me and Tim get together and make a game, this is kind of what's going to come out of that.
Right.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything about Fallout, but, you know, everybody's thinking that, like, because it's a very, very lauded and beloved game.
Yeah.
By me personally, it's my favorite of the series. But, like, a lot of people wanted to know, like, what are you guys doing that's new? Will we see, like, all this kind of stuff that will give us some sort of, not nostalgia, but like a throwback, like to the feeling that it gave us, the first game gave us.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think that's where that dark humor comes in. Tim has a very silly kind of sense of humor. I'm a little bit more on the dark side. So we call that our special sauce, where we kind of like balance each other out and ladle that all over the surface of the game.
Okay, that's got to go on the box. It's like there's special sauce all over this game.
We're ladling lots of special sauce.
People want to know just a little bit more like the nuts and bolts of the game, ability trees, customization, that kind of stuff. Can you go into that a little bit?
Sure. We're not talking too much about character customization and how you do character creation, but it's everything you want from an RPG in terms of that stuff. You know, we've given you the tools to make any character you want, like I said before. There's a lot of different ways to play the game. There's a new thing called leadership, which means that if you take a lot of skills, put a lot of your skill points into inspiration and determination, which make up leadership, your companions get even better. They can become almost unstoppable, and it's almost like you're commanding or in charge of a squad, sending them in to clean people up. And, you know, my latest playthrough, I'm doing a talking character with my companions doing all of the heavy lifting.
See, I always do that. I'm always like, whatever charisma stat it is, I always pump that up because I want dialogue choices.
Yeah, well, I'm heavily involved in the writing and story, so of course I always lean towards that. But even then, I was like, oh, my companions are having too much fun. I had to put some points into my long guns.
Sure, yeah, exactly, sure. Is it, okay, I see it's first person. Is it first person only, or?
Yeah, it's first person only. You'll see your character in third person in the inventory.
Sure.
And if you don't touch the controller for a while, it'll kind of circle around. But you don't play in third person at all.
Okay. Now, do you play as a protagonist, or do you start by, like, creating a character?
Oh, you start by creating a character. Like I said, he rescues you from the ship. You've been in suspended animation. As you're doing character creation, it's basically...
In the previous Wolfenstein games, how does this one stand apart or is different than previous Wolfenstein games?
It is different. You know, first the big difference is that you don't play as BJ Blazkowicz in this game. You still play as a Blazkowicz, as you play one of BJ's twin daughters, and they are of course equally tough and cool. But the storyline then differs in the sense that it's further into the future. So the twin daughters are 18 at the time of the game, so it's set in the 1980s. And so that's I would say is the big difference.
It was. I mean, I gotta say, it's such a smart thing to like you just describe the main characters, and it's like what you would put on the box, like 2 ass-kicking, Nazi-killing twin sisters. Like
that's exactly what they are.
That's all you have to put on the box, and I'm in.
And they learn from the very best.
Yeah, the very best, the man. Yeah.
Now, back there when we were talking, you told me that the story is actually non-linear. How do you experience moving through the game in a non-linear way?
It's been one of the big challenges for us to, of course, the co-op aspect. We have never done that before, but we also add this. This is actually the first time we have that open-ended structure in the game. But it also makes it a lot more, for me at least, a lot more fun to play when you play co-op. You can do missions in any order you want. You can communicate with your friend and decide what do we do next. What area do we take on after this one? And it gets a little bit more dynamic experience in that sense. But of course, we also have to be aware of the story. We still have a narrative that will follow through in the game. So that's been somewhat a challenge, but I'm very happy with the result.
One of the things I really enjoyed about playing through the previous Wolfenstein was when the difficulty was all the way up, it was tough as nails, like really super hard, like almost like, FU hard. How did that come into play when dealing with a co-op and an AI and stuff? I'm sure there's different things you had to consider.
It is. It is a little bit easier when you play together with a friend. So we scaled down the difficulty a little bit behind the scenes in solo play.
Okay.
So what we have now, I feel, is pretty close to being on par with each other. So, but of course, we still have a lot of difficulty settings, so you can lift it up if you really want to play FU hard mode. And we also another really good thing about this game is that actually your companion, your co-op player, can actually lower or raise the difficulty individually, and it doesn't affect your gameplay.
Oh, really?
So you can actually one can actually play on easy and you play on hard, and when you play together.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
great.
Don't fear the unknown. Attack it.
Yes! 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 We're going home! Oh, welcome back, Chief. I rerouted what little power I had into your suit. Looks like there's a problem with the servos in your hands. Stay calm. You've been out there a while. I know I saw something in here to check your armor's diagnostics. Whoa, easy there, big guy. You're not...
Status report.
Status report? What? There's something you need to see, Chief. We lost everything. There's nothing left for us here. I don't think we're here is. No. Not then! Not again! We need to run!
No, we need to fight. Get ready.
No, right out of the gate, there's a lot of stuff that is going to be surprise. Okay,
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff that we can't touch on, but one of my favorite things in the game is the weapon system, the weapon crafting and stuff. Is there like I'm sure there's going to be that's going to be in the game, but can you tell us if there's going to be like some new stuff?
Well, there'll be a lot of new weapons in the game. For sure, the weapon crafting will be a bit reworked because we changed the combat in Dying Light 2 into the way it's more tactical, the way it's more giving you more satisfaction in certain bits, certain moments. So the weapon crafting fills the gap, and it creates a lot of emergent situations that create those satisfaction moments. Yeah, it will be more complicated and more complex, so I guarantee you won't be disappointed.
Very cool, very cool. One of the things that I really like about, or I like about video games in general, is the difficulty. In the beginning, when I first started the first game, it was just run. Is that, can you speak to like the gameplay arc with this? Because it seems like he might start out like a badass, but am I wrong about that?
I can't tell you too much about that.
Okay.
The thing is that Aiden Caldwell is entering the city at the beginning of the game, almost at the beginning of the game. So he's not from the very beginning in the city, and he's not infected from the very beginning. So it probably covers some of the answers.
Okay. Like I said, totally fine if you can't say stuff, but I have to ask these questions. Yeah. The hard-hitting, journalistic questions. Co-op? Question mark?
There will be co-op. So you can play entire campaign, entire story from the beginning till the very end with your friends. It's up to 4-player co-op like in the first game. Some of the new elements will be introduced very soon about the co-op and about the multiplayer elements of the game, but right now it's confirmation that the co-op is there.
はい、そうですね。いくつかの方からご質問いただいているんですけれども、なぜ悟空が尻尾もどきを使っているかについては、ぜひですね、本編で、しっかりそれについて語れるシーンがありますので、本編を楽しみにお待ちいただければなと思っています。
Yeah, so I know there's a little chatter on the internet about, what's adult Goku doing with the tail. But that is, of course, his tool for fishing. But there is a very good explanation for that. So if you play the game, I assure you, it will be justified.
Are there any other shout-outs that not necessarily is following along with the story of Dragon Ball Z from the Raditz saga and onward, but sort of cameos or anything else that you bring outside of Dragon Ball Z, like maybe from Dragon Ball?
Right. 他の Z 以外のところでちょっとそういった取り入れた要素とかいろいろ隠し玉とかってあるんですか？
そうですね。まず本作は本当にタイトルにもあります通り、ドラゴンボール Z の物語を追体験できるアクション RPG となっていますと。その上でですね、初代ドラゴンボールに登場したはっちゃんやナムといったですね、キャラクターと大人になった悟空がコミュニケーションを取るとか、そういったようなサブストーリーは用意しています。
So, of course, as you mentioned, the main focus is going to be Dragon Ball Z, as implied by the title. But there are going to be a little bit of cameos. I think we just saw one a little earlier with Ader showing up and talking to adult Goku, which shouldn't be allowed to happen in this universe. And Ramu is going to make an appearance at some point as well. So there are going to be a little bit of Easter eggs here and there for the Dragon Ball fans.
Now, of course, Dragon Ball Z, you think of the combat. Tell me a little bit about the combat. How have you guys changed it from the previous games, and what can we expect in this one?
ドラゴンボール Z っていうとやっぱすごいコンバット、戦闘がメインだと思うんですけど、これに関して他のゲームとの差別化でどういうふうに調整して変更したのかという戦闘部分。
そうですね。戦闘に関してはですね、ちょっと先ほどちょっとお話をしちゃったかもしれないんですけれども、本作アクション RPG ということで、これまでのゲームここ数年間ですね、対プレイヤーを意識したバトルシステムになっていたんですけれども、本作 はもちろんアクション RPG ですので、相手はプレイヤーではなくて、NPC になりますと、その上で、NPC ということは、相手との条件というのは必ずしも対等ではないということで、先ほどの人お話ししたんですけど、ものすごい数のキラーを放ったりですとか、ものすごい広大な範囲で爆発を起こしたりすると。で、そうすることですね、原作ならではの強敵との圧倒的な力の差であったりですとか、ギリギリの死闘っていうのをこの RPG では体感することができるようになっています。
So this being an action RPG, I think a lot of times you're not going to be fighting other players. So
know what it is. What is Maneater?
Maneater is an open world action RPG where you play as a shark, or as we call it, a shark PG.
And this is puns for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, we're actually
Look.
trying to be as annoying as possible with our shark puns.
Hey, it'll bring the point home.
It's fantastic.
And
Allow
something
it.
that you guys clarified for me, this is a bull shark.
This is a bull shark, although it's a very special bull shark.
Tell us about him.
Yeah, so you start out as a bull shark, but through eating and consuming nutrients, you evolve past what nature has intended.
Okay, so you're telling me that there's some progression in this game. What's the progression like?
Absolutely. So everything that you consume will make you grow, and there's 4 different types of nutrients: protein, fat, minerals, and a real rare one, mutagen X. And that's really crucial to actually let you evolve past what nature's intended. And we have 5 different life stages. So you start out as a little baby, then you grow up as a moody teen, then an adult, an elder, and then finally mega size, which you're
A god.
humongous.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, God Shark.
Yep.
But you're talking about an open world here, so does that mean that I'll be able to revisit? Am I moving linearly through the world, or can I become my jumbo shark and then come back to my original little spawning pool and show everybody what's up?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you can backtrack. You'll actually, through your adventures, will find some apex predators that are way too big to actually fight. I mean, you can try to fight it, but you'll want to actually go back. So the world starts out, teaching you what to do, and then as you grow, it opens up to the whole world.
And as you progress, you become a bigger shark, you might be able to break through things that you couldn't before. So there's that aspect of coming back and saying, hey, this place I couldn't get through before, now I can, because I can knock that wall down.
You don't see a lot of shark-based games on the market. I want to know, what was the inspiration? What does a shark-based action RPG allow you to do that you don't get to see in other RPGs?
Well, it's very, very challenging to come up with this, because generally in a game, you got characters and they have arms and they have hands, and
they tend
this
to, yeah.
does not. So
unnecessary.
We're trying to think of creative ways where we can add more elements to gameplay than just go bitey, eat something. So you can clamp onto things, you can thrash them. We also have a thing called whip shot. So anything you put in your mouth, if you're big enough, you can redirect it like a projectile weapon at something.
This sounds awesome.
So and each different type of animal that you put into your mouth and you throw has different attributes. So for instance, say I grab a swordfish and I whip shot that, it's like a sniper rifle. But if I was to whip shot like a turtle, it's going to spin, or a big log would spin and knock a bunch of things down, or exploding barrels. So think of an analogy like in a first-person shooter when you pick up a shotgun or an assault rifle.
Yeah.
These are things you put in your mouth and throw back out.
And is there going to be some play here? Am I going to, kind of get...
Cutter's turned on. Are you running some kind of drill? We should call it in? Well, that'd be a breach of protocol. If there's a disturbance, their squad should call it in. Yeah, better do this by the book. Oh, movement! Taking aim!
Gonna need to get through here.
Attention all units. We've got contact with our troops stationed at cargo pad 119 Gallon. Keep to your posts and stay alert. A Jedi. This is what I've trained for. Got you. I will make you hurt.
Skill tree, you look if you feel like a scientist.
A little bit, but I'll go even further, so you understand.
Go further.
The thing is, it's like it really depends on how you play. Every single player will have their own experience because depending on the decision you're making, you evolve in a different way. So if you are really good at jumping around, your character can get better at it. If you're more into observation, you'll get the skills attached to this, and that's your own experience. If you want to become a hunter quicker, it will depend on you, because it's really, we're looking about what you're doing. We're like monitoring everything you do, and eventually you will unlock portion of the main character abilities. But what's important is that you're not actually playing one character through time.
I was just gonna, okay, go ahead.
You're playing as a clan. It's your lineage that needs to survive, not only one, because we go from 10 million years up to 2 million years.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. Is there like a, okay.
That's the overall arc. That's like, and it doesn't take you millions of years to go through it.
Well, what, I mean, that would be a huge, like.
There is systems to make the gap.
Yeah, there's a big gap between when you can play, when you start and when you finish. Your like great grandson would have to finish the game.
Exactly. Yeah. Roughly.
Roughly, right?
Well, I don't know which computer, by the way.
Is there like a goal that you're given, like at the beginning, or do you just make your own goals?
You make your own goals. While I was like studying the subject matter, at first I was making that game a lot more linear, trying to go through the science of it all.
Sure.
But it was boring. Roughly.
Science is often boring.
Roughly, no, but it's because we know a little bit more than the characters. So anyway,
right.
So instead, we've built this huge map, which game world, which all the science is in there. But then I'm asking the player, hey, Homo sapiens, you think you're intelligent enough to survive like your ancestors did? And so we're not taking you by the hands whatsoever. There's no mini-map. So it's not about going from dots to dots.
There's no heads up, there's no HUD at all, it looks like.
Well, you can turn it on and off. This is me playing, so I don't need the HUD.
Oh,
I'm the best,
okay.
I'm the best Ancestors player on the planet right now, so I don't need it.
Man, you're just like, you got your horn and you're just tooting it all over the place.
Ability. So this in the original basically locked you into telekinesis and you couldn't do anything else. So what we wanted to do is make it much more combat focused. So as you can see, you can simply grab them and hold them up next to yourself.
I feel
and
so
then you
bad. They're flailing so much.
But yeah, basically it allows you to still be very mobile, and later on you'll see that when you now get a weapon, you can do all this simultaneously now. In the original, these were separate things. You either do your telekinesis, or you pop the brain of the human out of his head, or you shoot him. And now it's just like a seamless experience of doing everything at the same time.
I don't think I ever wanted to throw a cow before, but I really have this strong desire now to throw cows. What other abilities, or maybe just a sense of progression, is that sort of something that happens in the game where you get more abilities?
Exactly. So basically, this is the brain extract ability, which you can both do on deceased persons, but also on living humans. And then you've got stuff like mind reading, and you can pose as a human so that they don't see you and you don't raise the alert level and the police doesn't come and stuff like this.
Yeah.
The other form of progression is simply within the telekinesis that at the beginning you're able to lift like smaller objects. You can throw a tire in somebody's face or a hatchet or something, and then later you just grab an entire tank and slam it in their face, which is also something you want to do. And the nice thing now is that you can also do it like, you can jump up in the air, use the jetpack, throw something down on the, like this. Or you just grab the person himself, drown him in the lake. So it's, but all in a funny kind of way. It's all good, all fun and games.
You gotta have a sense of
this
humor.
You can see, like normally at this stage in the game, you wouldn't be able to lift this massive thing. But as this is our E3 demo, we just wanted to show off, how this will be at the end of the day. Now he's using the brain extract to just decap. It's like a bit of like a Jedi kind of choking thing where you just pop their brains out of their head.
The action, there's a lot of fluidity in the action movement, the frame rate, it looks wonderful. How important was that, bringing the game forward to make it feel so much better?
That was for us a big emphasis because we didn't want to stray too far from the original game. We want to keep it a faithful remake. We really want to give the players to have the best experience of playing this game, not like something inspired by the first game.
Right.
So we're focusing on the details of making sure that the game feels like people remember it, and they remember it as something really great because it was, but certain aspects obviously age because it's just a PS2 era game. So making him a lot more agile with the boosting, with the you have got more air time when you fly with your jetpack. That gives you a lot more time to just aim.
These wolves are perfect predators. They have the knowledge of their hunting ground, but we have the element of surprise. They have the technology, but we have the skills to even the odds. They have an army, but we fight with our brothers and sisters. They are hungry, but we are enraged. We are ghosts. And ghosts never die.